Okay, well good morning everybody, the people who are here, sitting in this side. Welcome to Tech Breakfast. As you know, Tech Breakfast is our showcase of all the cool, innovative tech happening in our tech region. And as I like to say, as we all know, there's a lot of great tech happening here. More than you would ever know. When I started Tech Breakfast about 2 years ago, just 10 of us sitting around a table in Baltimore. I'll show you mine if you show me yours. Demos, of course. I thought, well, maybe we could do this for a couple of months, you know. But lo and behold, there's like hundreds of awesome tech companies, or thousands maybe? I don't know, it's hard to say. So, for those, so how many of you are here at Tech Breakfast for the first time? Good. Mostly on that side of the room, a few on this side, that's good. We have the new siders side. Well, welcome to Tech Breakfast. The way that Tech Breakfast works, it's 5 demo formats. Show and tells, so it's basically you can think of it as like show and tell for adults, 7 minutes long, all basically tech demos, no lectures, no talks, no death by PowerPoint. It's all cool tech companies showing off cool tech things, and I think that's part of the reason why this has worked so well. So we have some great tech companies here doing some demos, and between each two we'll do what's called a shout outs, and shout outs are for the first shout is for hiring, so anybody here who's hiring, anybody here who's looking for a job, this is your opportunity for you to connect with the community here, and I'm always pleasantly surprised. We do make connections happen here. This is sort of like, I'm not trying to be like the, you know, what's it, the harmony of tech companies here, but, you know, there's a special match for everybody. You know, we do people like, I need a marketing person, so it's like, oh, I'm a marketing person. I'm like, wow, well that's great. So if anything I can do to help, then we do another 2 tech demos, and then after that we'll do another round of shout-outs. And those shout-outs are usually for people with events, things that they want to invite people to, you know, weddings, bar mitzvahs, that kind of thing. And then we do another demo, and then we round this whole thing out. So we're actually running a little bit long here already. I was waiting for folks to trickle in. So I'm gonna keep things going really quickly. We also have our shout-outs from our sponsors. We have quite a few awesome sponsors here. I see a few of them. There's Betsy Daly from NAI. I see the folks from Montgomery County. So Bernadette and Dan's here. We'll get sometimes we have some investors in the crowd. We have, so lots of great folks. We'll have them do their shout-out during the shout-out periods. We also have the great support of the Maryland D-Bed. So for those of you that are familiar with Maryland, they've got money. It could be yours. Oh, there you are, Bernadette. I was like blanked out in that whole space of things. But maybe during the first shout-outs, I'll give you an opportunity to do a little shout-out. And then, of course, you have the support of Comcast as well. So thank you very much, Comcast. We have a handout, a giveaway. We also have handouts. So if you're missing the handouts, here's your handout. It tells you everybody's presenting. And we're doing a giveaway of something, which you all will be surprised about. So near the end. So must be present to win. Must have your business card and that thing that Daniel has. So without further ado, let's actually bring up our first presenters, because they've been like here all morning getting this thing set up. And we have two mics. I'm actually not talking in the handheld mic. You guys hear me okay? Yeah. All right, so it looks like this. You can use this one or that one. They're both good. And let me switch over to source. And let me get you. I hit the wrong button. There we go. I hit the alt key and meeting button. You can warn us about that. And then I can set the timer.
Thanks everybody, and thank you Ron. Thank you Antonio back in the back, because without you I wouldn't be able to do this the way I'm doing it. I had a nice long PowerPoint to get this morning, and of course Ron said no PowerPoints, so I'm going to talk you through a few things. But my name is Steve Altizer. I'm here with my partner Lee Piazza in the white shirt in the back. We are here with Priveo. Priveo is a contraction of the words private video. Can everybody hear me okay? Yeah. Good. What we are trying to do is create an app that does the same thing that your phone currently does, but does it much easier, much faster, and more efficiently. Everybody knows that you have a video camera on your phone, and if you haven't done it, a lot of people have tried to send videos to people. I don't know if you've tried to send video messages or just transmit videos, but it's kind of clunky, kind of hard. And what we're doing is taking the native functionality of your phone and putting a nice user interface around it and making it very seamless, efficient, and user-friendly. Ultimately, what we want is for our app, small goal, I admit, but we want our app to be that one icon on your phone that you go to, just like your text icon, just like your phone icon, when you want to send a message, but you want to send it by video. We're making it just drop dead simple. It is not, there are no gimmicks involved. There are not a lot of bells and whistles. Our minimally viable product right now is available on Android, and we're trying to make it so simple that our parents can use it, our kids can use it, and anybody that wants to can use it. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I have a brief video I'd like to share with you. We're actually looking at our website right now, and if this is working properly, it should turn. There we go. So Priveo.me. If you'd like to get the iPhone app when it comes out, or if you'd like to go get the Android app right now, you can go to our website. The iPhone app isn't available just yet. We're still working with Apple to get through iOS 7 testing. But if you go to our website, you can download it right there. You can see the buttons. Android button is dark, so you can get that. I'm going to play this video down here at the bottom, and it'll give you a little bit of better idea of what Priveo is all about.
Your days are alive with color, sound, and movement. How can you make it all fit into a text message or an emoticon? Welcome to Priveo, the future of communication. Now you can use video to capture a moment and share it instantly. It's as easy as sending a text message or a smiley face, but one more personal and meaningful. Sharing is simple. Just sign up, fill out the requested information, and punch in your confirmation code. Then start sharing. Priveo uses the contacts from your phone so you can send messages without having to invite friends. And you can invite anyone outside of your contacts through email, text, or Facebook. Your home screen displays incoming and outgoing messages. When Priveo first launches, you'll find 2 videos on your homepage, including the lovely video you're watching now. Your home screen will begin populating once you start sending messages. Connect with people one-on-one or create groups of any size. Either way, your video conversations will stay totally private unless you choose to unlock them. Priveo is about messaging between people. Just tap the record button at the bottom of the screen to capture something cool, a concert, or an amazing sunset, and add your own personal message. Next, choose the person or people you want to share with. Your video reaches them almost instantly. See facial expressions that are otherwise hidden in text messages, so you'll know instantly if your boyfriend is annoyed with you or just messing around. Priveo conversations are simple. To play a video, just touch the thumbnail. To reply to that person, simply hit the curved arrow in the corner of the screen to start recording. To forward a message, as long as it's not private, simply hold down the thumbnail. Priveo is a cloud service. Your library gets backed up to the cloud automatically. Use multiple devices with one account, and your videos will be available for you on any device. Priveo is the future of communication. Share your life the way you intended with accurate and effective messages that are as easy to send as a text message. So ditch the emoticons and start sharing your life the way you live it. Full color, full volume, full speed, and for real.
Okay, now on to the demo portion. As you can see, this is my phone. I'm hooked up with Apple TV up here so you can see the screen of my iPhone. I have the iPhone version. It's a test version at the moment. Unfortunately, I can't share it with you guys right now. But the Priveo icon is down in the bottom right. You can see the P. It looks like I have a new message, in fact. When you go to the screen, the first time you open this up, you're actually going to log in, as I said. Eventually, you'll come to this screen. Let's go back to that screen. As you saw in the video, there are icons on the left. The left icons are the people with whom you're communicating. It could be a group of people, it could be individuals. Everybody has an account, so they have their own little image there on the left. And I can slide through here. I can pick any group that I want to communicate with. And I can slide this up and down. And the videos on the right, these are thumbnails of the different videos, people that I'm communicating with. Slide that up and down. A new video will have a blue border around it. This is a video from Lee. It looks like Lee sent me this just a few minutes ago, so we'll play this and see what he said.
Okay, Steve, good luck with the presentation.
Really creative, Lee. Thank you. There are a couple others here I think I'd like to show you. We went to St. Louis the other day, and didn't really think about this app as as an app for use with tourism. But while we were in St. Louis, I went to the Arch. A lot of people used and visited the Arch, but you probably haven't used Priveo there. And this is what I did when I got to the top of the Arch. And I'm at the top of the St. Louis Arch. This is what it looks like from the very top. Anybody been to St. Louis? Stratyner. In the Arch? Pretty cool. So the videos are up to 30 seconds in length. Our objective is eventually to have a premium version. If you want to send messages longer than 30 seconds, you can use the premium version. Are we out of time? Another interesting thing about Priveo is not only is it a private video service, you know, if you send videos to somebody right now with email or text, they can take those videos and put them on YouTube or post them on their website or Facebook or YouTube, whatever. Ours has a privacy feature, so if I wanted to send Lee a message back, I go to that arrow at the top, I just click on that, and now you're looking at me, I get a little countdown. Right now I'm recording a message back to Lee. All I have to do is hit the record button to stop it. Lee's phone number is already in the to box. See the little blue icon there next to the send? That's the privacy feature. It's currently locked. They're all locked, so your messages are private. They can't be forwarded by anybody else unless you unlock it like that. And if I want to send a message back to Lee, I just hit send and it goes. So this makes what would be a dozen touches on your phone with a normal iPhone or Android phone just a handful, a small handful of touches. And if we have a good connection, that should be going. Anyway, that's my presentation. I appreciate your time. If you have any questions, I guess we have a little Q&A time. There you go. Okay.
Okay, great. Okay, cool. Let's start this way. So I'll Steve, your hands up. I'll go that way.
Right. It sounds great, fine, and wonderful, but where are the revenues coming from?
That's a great question. At the moment, nowhere. Our goal, like a lot of apps and software products these days, we're trying to build a user base. So our goal is to get it out there, get it free. But we have a lot of ideas for revenue. This is not really a complicated revenue opportunity. I think what we feel is we can have every 5th or 6th video that comes to your phone might be an advertisement. It'll have the blue border around it, so to get rid of the blue border, you have to touch it and play it. So it's sort of like YouTube. You have to watch videos advertising before you watch the YouTube. We're also thinking maybe an easier, more customer-friendly version or of revenue source would be the premium version. So maybe for $1 a month, you can upgrade so you can use a lot of other interesting features that we haven't built into this minimum viable product yet, or have extended length videos. Like I said, right now it's only 30 seconds long. But we have a number of ideas like that. We're not building a product that is revenue generation capable at the moment. We're just trying to get it out there so people can start using it. But great question.
I have a question and a comment. I guess the first question is, how big do you think the addressable market is here? I don't really have a sense of how many people are doing this on a regular basis. And the second was just a comment, and I noticed in your demo video, most of the things that you share are actually static images, and if you're selling a video service, there seems to be a little bit of a disconnect.
Yeah, actually, we're not promoting the static photographs. We're
right. I mean, the video shows all the stuff in there is static.
That's the problem with our demo, I guess.
Oh,
Yeah, good point.
I do have a question for you, and I'm going to go around. And you know, of course, because you've been following the news, Snapchat, $3.5 billion valuation, turned down the Facebook offer, and I'm looking at this and I'm like, it looks kind of Snapchatty. So what's not Snapchatty about it? Yeah.
Well, you know, when we started this process, which was last summer, of course, this is a long-term process getting something like this built. We knew Snapchat existed. Snapchat was an app that's even on my phone. But you make short videos and they disappear. I'm pretty sure, if they haven't already, in fact, I think I read an article that Snapchat is now offering the ability to do permanent videos. They're going to evolve into something like this. It's a little more of a utility instead of a gimmick. But our goal was to make something really, really simple without a lot of bells and whistles, so that anybody and everybody could use it just for pure video messaging. There are a lot of other apps out there like Glide and Unda and WhatsApp and Tango, and Skype has something similar to this. But our goal is to be a little bit unique. We can address a lot of different markets with this. We're not seeking out teens and the social scene exclusively. We think there's a great business-to-business application here, or internal within business application. We think the education market would be great. Students talking with teachers, teachers talking with kids, and a lot of other markets that are really interesting here. And as long as we keep it plain, simple, and a utility, we think that we're going to get a lot of traction here. Thank you.
What's the data usage? It seems to be like a big file anytime you share videos or send videos.
What was the beginning of your question? Sorry?
The data usage, is that an issue that you come across?
Actually, it's not as bad as you think. These videos are compressed by your phone. So it's just, I think we looked at it, it's 100 kilobytes or something like that when it actually leaves your phone. So it is a potential problem, but I think things are going this way. People are getting more comfortable sending and receiving videos, downloading stuff from the net. The carriers are getting comfortable allowing you to do that. There are more options today to get unlimited texting and things like that. So I think we're a little bit ahead of the curve with the total adoption of large bandwidth transfer, but I think we're heading that way, so it's going to be pretty commonplace.
In the back of the mic for you.
Yeah.
Do you think you would want to try the feature of if it's possible or not violate a patent to have the video disappear after a certain amount of time, like Snapchat? Is that something that's going to be kind of required in the marketplace in this kind of short?
Yeah, you're asking if we want to consider doing the self-destruct feature on our phone?
Is that, I mean, just discuss that briefly. Is that something that's just in the domain of Snapchat? They've got the IP in it?
Well, we haven't looked into Snapchat's patent situation, and that is a feature that we could easily add later. Frankly, we have a list 2 pages long of things that we could do to this app. I think what our goal is right now is just to make it simple, easy, basic, no frills, to get a lot of people using it for the basic functionality that it is, and as we get users, we'll begin to add functionality. But we have a lot of interesting ideas, like if you imagine, my wife is a little hesitant to use this because she never likes the way she looks on camera. So she invented the incognito function. So you can push a button and you can deliver a message without showing your face. So it's just one of the many things that we think we might be able to add later. But at the moment, we're going to try to get a lot of traction with just the basic service.
Hey, so what happens if you receive a message from someone and you don't have the app, and are the videos saved after you watch them? Are they downloadable?
Yeah, great question. As the video mentioned, this is a cloud service. Everything is up in the cloud. It's not on your phone. Once you make the video, currently if you want to save the video as a draft, you can do that and it would be on your phone. But as soon as you send the video, it actually leaves your phone and it goes into our servers on Amazon. And so it's not transferable, it's not downloadable really. These are other options that we're thinking about adding later, so you can actually take it and post it somewhere. If you create a great video and you want to put it on your Facebook page, it's not in our MVP product at the moment. But the videos are all off your phone.
And you have to watch it on, like someone has to have the app to watch it?
Yes, actually I didn't answer that question. When you send a video to somebody that doesn't have the app, they get a text message saying, hey, you've received a Priveo message, click this link and you can download the app and watch it.
I already do this on my iPhone, where in the added benefits of me talking to somebody when I create a video, and Apple lets you send up to a minute. What seems to be different in a crowded field about this is the collaborative aspect. In other words, I can be with a group and we can be doing these round robin videos, which I would think for like sales or training, somebody's out in the field and everyone wants to see it, you're doing back and forth. Do you have any data that suggests what that addressable market is? In other words, the collaborative video instant sending back and forth?
No, we haven't seen any data on that. We haven't tried to develop any data on that. Actually, our main focus right now is building the app, and we think, as a lot of you probably think, that there'll be a lot of communication done with video in the future. As long as there's a method to do it, and we're trying to provide that vehicle for people to communicate, there'll be a lot of communication. I agree with you. I think our app is a lot like sending a text message to multiple people or an email to multiple people. You can send it to as many people as you want. You can have a group message between people. But
Okay,
thank you.
Good job. Awesome job.
I appreciate it.
Good to hear. So it is a lot of questions. We might keep things moving, but good demo. And I'll leave your machine up here too. If you can take your phone.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Andrew Doepping. I'm going to talk to you about sending personalized messages to your network, actionable messages. So, it's a problem right now with social media, and that is saturation. There's a lot of noise. Okay, you log into Facebook or Twitter, and you have messages from dozens of different organizations looking for your support one way or another. And unless there is a very high budget behind that campaign, chances are you're just going to look over it and move on to the next thing. It's something I experienced, and it's a problem with a lot of agencies right now trying to break through that noise. So the best way to really break through a lot of that noise is SMS. That's why there's a big push for SMS, or large SMS markets throughout the world, and it's the best way to send actionable messages, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So I would like to introduce you to Foosha, first application person service that uses the power of the individual to spread your actionable message. So let me go ahead and show you how it works. So first we're going to go ahead and log into Foosha.com. And you have our dashboard where we have the create message list, create contact network, upload contacts. So we're going to go ahead and choose upload contacts. So a lot of people were kind enough to provide their name and phone number. So thank you. You guys are going to be receiving a message directly from me from my personal number today.
Should I make a shout out for anybody who wants to add themselves, or it's too late at this point?
It's too late at this point. Sorry. You can come to me afterwards.
Just to raise some hands, how many people here got the email or request for the message? Okay, great. So like, looks like 4 or 5 of you, 6 or 7. Okay, great. So enough of you.
So drag and drop a .csv file. So this is the variable first name. This one is a variable last name and phone number. Select all and import contacts. So now we're going to create a message list. All right. So here it pulls up. I already didn't spell that right. So here it pulls up the message list where we have all of our contacts. Here you can see the variables F name for first name, L name for last name. So I'm going to go ahead and put in a message I typed out previously. So previous presenter mentioned that he's sometimes frustrated with iOS development standards. And so are we. Because right now, Apple does not allow applications to send SMS messages on behalf of the user. So there's actually a petition on change.org right now that addresses that issue. It's for an application that sends messages for people while they're driving. So we'll say, so-and-so is driving right now and we'll call you back. Also, it's important for us because right now we have a fully functioning application on the Android store on Google Play. However, we have increased development for the iPhone capabilities. So those of you who received this message today, please sign it, fill it out, send your petition, and forward it along to anyone that you think might benefit from it. So you can go ahead and add contacts, all contacts. We're going to select the list that I just uploaded, select all, and import. So now you can see everyone's name here and everyone's message. So what's really cool is you can go in, you can make changes. If you want, and when you make changes, it'll turn blue. So that allows you a little bit further customization. What's really neat about this is it all syncs with my app immediately. So I'm already logged in, so you can download this from Google Play. Oh. Plug it up. And all right, you should all be receiving that. Just sign up.
Which folks get the message? Text message? Some of you? Any of you? Some of you? None of you?
Yeah. All right, well, you should receive the message. I'm sorry if you didn't receive it. I'm going to go ahead and blame the reception here. Yeah, actually sent it, so you should have it. Yeah, sorry it didn't quite work 100% correctly, but hopefully by the next couple of minutes you guys will receive it. All right, so.
Okay, well, that's good. Well, good job in the demo. So you still, big kudos for the live demo. So I know what that's like. Okay, great. So I think good. All right, you have a question back there. Let me go in your direction.
Pardon me, Mike. How do you monetize, and is there a limit to how many messages you can send at once?
Right now, no, there's not a limit to how many messages you can send at once. Right now, we monetize with $1 for every 100 messages, or $9 per month for unlimited use for personal usage. We also have enterprise system set up where we'll sit down and we'll come up with a monthly recurring payment for enterprise usage. And we actually do have revenue coming in from our tests that we've done with enterprise clients.
So again, are you thinking about this in terms of like a constant contact for messaging? Is that kind of the way?
It is similar to constant contact. So what this is used for is to personalize your solicitations. So if you have a cause you really care about, for example, if you're running in a 5K and you need to raise money for your team for the cause you care about, you can send this message to everyone in your contact list or your coworkers. You can decide who you want to send it to and say, I really need your help. $5 is all I need from you. And the response rate we've gotten from our tests has been absolutely amazing. So we've gotten everywhere from a 7.5% response rate to a 34% response rate, depending on where they were trying to do with the message.
So I probably didn't get this, but
Who are you getting the message from? So if for example, I get a lot of messages from AT&T or something, immediately just erase them or something.
It comes directly from me, a 10-digit number. So the message I was trying to send out is going to come straight from my phone. So the person you're receiving the message from will be known to you. It'll be a colleague, it'll be straight from their phone. So there's going to be, if you send it out to 100 different people, the receiver will not know that. They will just see that it came from you.
And it's not gonna, for you, there's a charge for 100 messages in your account or not?
It's pay-per-credit. So you need to, if you're going to send 100 messages, you need to pay that $1 ahead of time.
But I mean, let's say I pay, right now I send 80, which is below the 100 that you mentioned. Is AT&T or T-Mobile or something going to charge me for 99 messages?
Yes, so this is on top of whatever your current provider is. So unfortunately, we don't control that.
Okay, that was a very good clarification. So if you're sending 1,000 messages and I've got a 400 text message plan, then I'm going to get a pleasant little...
Yes, that might happen. And for that, we also provide 10-digit numbers as well for your use.
This is when I would recommend the T-Mobile unlimited messaging plan, which really is unlimited. It's pretty awesome. I think once they catch you into this app, though, they might put an asterisk on it.
How do you verify that I'm saying that how do you verify that my number is my number? Or is it because the app is installed on my phone?
Yes, it is synced with the app. It will be synced with your phone through the mobile app.
You have a web app also. What about that? How does that handle the phone you say is yours?
Well, if you send you can buy a 10-digit number from us to use on the web. So you can send messages from a phone number you buy from us, but if you want to send a message from your phone, it will come directly from your phone number. Does that clarify your question?
Yeah.
All right.
Just thinking of more of the security issue.
No, you cannot just type in some random phone number.
So it's using the like AT&Ts or whatever that it's using your normal text messaging.
Correct.
So you want me to repeat that question?
Oh, he was clarifying that it just uses the network's text messaging service, and that's correct.
Cool. Okay, one more back here. Pass the mic.
If you respond to the text message, does it go to all 100 recipients or does it go back to you?
It goes back directly to you. So that's what's great, it can facilitate a conversation. So if one of the recipients wants to reply, get clarification, say, hey, I haven't talked to you in a while, that comes straight back to you.
Yeah, cool. And then one more from Uncle Joseph and Vidal.
Do you do like drip SMS, like set up automatic responders, so somebody, if you text, and then can you set up like follow-up series of messages that auto input variables?
I don't know if you guys heard, he was asking if we do drip SMS. Yes, we can do that with our 10-digit numbers that we sell to you. And we have done that successfully on large campaigns. So we facilitated over 150,000 messages, and 60,000 of those was with drip SMS.
Cool. There was a group that presented a while back called SMS Select. I don't know if you saw the presentation, where you can do text donations via phone. That might be a really interesting pairing because
actually,
do you know that? Oh, you know that?
I know Brent.
Yeah, Brent. Okay, good. Well, Brenton's a good guy. You guys work together. I guess you have one more question back here from Jason, and then we'll wrap this one up.
How about surveys? I know when I call AT&T customer service, they text me a day later with a survey, and they text me a question. I send back a number, and it's like a 6-question series. Is that something that you guys can support?
I'll have to look into that. I know all the details if we can support that type of application just yet. However, that's an interesting point that we can look into in the future. If AT&T comes to us and says, we want to set this up for our company, we'll say we'll find a way to do it.
Good job. Awesome job on the demo. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, that brings us to the first shout-outs before we bring out our next thing. So, first shout-out goes out to all you people looking to hire. I know there's many of you people here. Maybe if there's not, then make up something. Oh, look, and Mark is standing up already. So I should just give you the mic by default. Okay, Mark, go for it.
Well, today, I'm always looking for software architects with a MBA, MDD background. That's always. I'm also looking for an infrastructure architect with experience with current IBM, HP, and Dell top-end server technologies that are compatible with Microsoft technologies. Also, I'm looking for a developer with cross-platform experience in the mobile field for iPhone, Android, Windows, and BlackBerry, and they need to have experience with push notifications.
Okay, all right. Anybody else hiring? Let's walk around to this side here. There's a couple people looking too. I'm going to pass this back. Betsy. There you go.
Hi, I'm Betsy Silver with RDA. We have 3 different positions we're hiring. One is Microsoft application developers, either in .NET, SQL, or SharePoint. Those people typically have 5+ years of experience, but we also have a similar type of need for those who have 2 years out of school for our development center. And then we're also hiring a new marketing/sales assistant. So please find me if you know of anybody looking for one of those jobs.
And what experience is required for the marketing one?
1 year out of school for the marketing assistant.
Well, maybe you should pass that mic to Mindy.
Hey, my name is Mindy, and I'm on the other end looking for jobs, freelance or full-time. I have a pretty diverse background with web, UX, analytics, also done some mobile app development. So basically, whatever I can Google, I figure out to do.
I was just wondering if we made a match just there, so maybe we'll see. Okay, anybody else hiring or looking for a job? Jeff, want to say something? No.
Yeah, okay. See how the presentation.
I didn't. Okay. Please hold on that one. All right, so actually, as a matter of fact, Jeff, you're my next one up. So why don't you come on up? All right, cool. All right, anybody else looking for a position or hiring? Okay, if not, then let's do our sponsor shout outs. So first, Bernadette, I see you right here, because this is the DC Tech Breakfast, but I should really call this the Montgomery County Tech Breakfast, because you think you all know better than me calling it DC Tech.
No, we operate regionally. Good morning, Bernadette with Montgomery County Economic Development. We have all kinds of money to support startup businesses. We can now make equity investments. Our small business revolving loan program has a new infusion of money. And we also have tax credits. For the tax credits, and again, people interested in cybersecurity, you know that I like that. We have a program on Monday about tax credits for cybersecurity, security clearances reimbursement, and also helping you with building skiff space. So come and see me about that. Thanks.
I sure to have Montgomery County support. We also have the support of the folks from NAI, Betsy. Figure right here. I'm just walking my way through. I see you too, Jim.
Good morning, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I'm in the commercial real estate business. We want to help you not make mistakes in real estate. I think a number of you heard me say my magic 4 words. Take 4 words out of your vocabulary when you talk about commercial real estate. Normal, standard, ordinary, and fair. It's a great time to be a tenant. We have an excessive amount of office space out there, and I'd love to help you make the right deal for your company.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you very much. Okay, as mentioned, we also have the support from Comcast, so maybe during the raffle I'll have you do your thing, all right? And see a few other our sponsors have Jim's over there. I lost you. Okay, come on up, Jim, and then I'll just keep things going here.
Thanks, Ron. And I love following Betsy because we're not standard or ordinary. But we are fair. I hope we're fair. My name is Jim Gibbons. I'm a partner, portfolio manager at G&M Investment Group. Our deal is we advise and design investment portfolios at the local level. We do not farm out our investing. We have our own methodology, which we call investment strength. The reason why we want to do everything in-house is my partner, Steve Marlon, he's the M in G&M. We were really upset with our industry. It's just not that easy to go and get your little pie chart based on age and risk tolerance. We don't believe in that because it does not take into account the most important part about investing, which is the market. You can't invest, you don't know what the market's doing. If interest rates are rising, bond prices are falling. So why, if you're close to retirement, would you want to be in bonds? So that's a little bit of what we try to do with investment strength, is we look at the market, we look for those strong trends, we make sure our clients are there consistently. We're tactical, we're not strategic. The difference is, as tactical would imply, we are moving. Not daily, maybe weekly, maybe monthly, but as needed. All right, so again, I'm Jim Gibbons of G&M Investment Group. So if you have any money in an old 401k, IRA, maybe you don't know who's doing the buying and selling, give us a call, talk with us, we'll be happy to help you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very good. Thank you all to our sponsors. We have some more, so maybe during our next round of shout-outs, we'll do that during the event shout-out. But without further ado, Jeff, let's get your... Oh, wait, Andrew, wait.
Okay. So, I was trying to send it from the wrong campaign earlier, so I did send it out. So, did people receive it? Still no? All right, I'll let you know.
AT&T's network. All right, let me swap the sources here.
Hello? Everybody hear me?
Very good.
Mics are so awkward. I kind of just want to talk.
Yeah, but the recording will get us.
All right, good morning, everybody. Let's see, so I have 25 minutes. I don't think I'm going to take that time off. Computer tonight. So good morning, everybody. I've been running my own company for 18 months now, and I've presented this in like a million different ways. So I always like to play something different. So as I'm listening to people talking at today and at various meetups, there's a ton of innovation with a lot of new kinds of communication. They're not that new anymore, but people trying to harness different ways to communicate. And I'm kind of old school, as you can tell, a lot of gray hair. So what my company does, my platform, is not necessarily try to harness a new way to communicate, but to really optimize an old way of communicating. Everybody right now in front of them has probably an assortment of at least one brochure and probably several business cards. Is that correct? And everybody in here in some capacity is probably in sales, even if you don't think you are, just when you're selling yourself this morning, right? So everybody's in sales when you go out and start talking to people. So what my platform, which is called Hypersuade, does is to really try to optimize the transaction of marketing information. And that could be a brochure, it could be data sheets, it could be business card, and really the problem we're trying to solve is, and this actually didn't plan this, but this is the jacket I wore at the last Tech Breakfast, and I reached into my pocket and I found probably about 24 business cards that I got. And shame on me for not following up on these, but I'm probably not the only one who does this, right? You get information, business cards disappear, maybe you spend a bunch of money sponsoring an event like this or going to a trade show, and the leads you get, the information you get, whether you're a presenter or an attendee, it just isn't actionable. So what my product does, and the demo's going to be very brief, which is why I'm not really jumping into it yet.
Might be briefer than anything.
Yeah, I know. I know it's going to be very brief. It's all right. There we go. It's very, very simple. Instead of exchanging paper, which is kind of becoming antiquated and wasteful, certainly not green. Yeah, that's fine. I think I'm okay with it. I'll make it. We wanted to provide a very, very simple platform, thank you, where you can easily upload your information. So in this case, I've got a few data sheets about my company. I've got my business card, my V card on here. Very easily upload the information, be able to present it. It's readable. I can download it from here. But then more importantly, as I'm having a discussion with you, I then want to be able to, and I'm going to use my little shorthand here because I only have one hand free. I want to be able to get your information, whether it's from a business card or we can automate it if we're, and this is, kind of the, I can answer these questions later, but there's a way to actually kind of automate things in the back end if you're presenting at a trade show. And then say, oh, you want my information? I go click, click, click. I hit send. That information goes to your inbox. Again, so it's not really kind of some new fancy way to communicate. It's just harnessing pretty traditional ways to communicate. But the really important thing is you now have that information electronically. And for me, as a salesperson, I can now track that marketing transaction. So what we're doing is optimizing the marketing transaction. So when I get back, instead of having all these business cards in my pocket, I can just pull this up. And I've got your information here. There's a whole bunch of information in the back end, with more detail. This is kind of the high-level report. And I can download that spreadsheet, upload it into my CRM, whatever I want to do with it. And basically, I've eliminated paper. I've tracked the information. And as an attendee or the recipient of my marketing information, if you're really interested in my stuff, you can now access it. You don't have to go out to my website. You don't have to dig through, the backseat of your car looking for the documents that you threw back there. It's all right there electronically. I can pass them on to other people. So it's all about access. So again, not some new fancy way of communicating, but just really optimizing and harnessing exactly the way we're used to communicating, which is talking, exchanging information, handing out business cards. So that's what we do. We're called Hypersuade. Kind of think of us as your virtual briefcase for any kind of sales engagements. And where we're being used right now are at trade shows, events, people going on sales calls, point of sale. So if you think about going to like a Home Depot and there's a table with information about Anderson windows or something, we've got a few customers that are using us at their retail locations. And hopefully that kind of explains it. That's my new way of doing it. Nothing fancy, it's fast. Very few buttons, very fast. Short and sweet like me. Questions?
Good job. First of all, good job on that. Does anyone want to see more demo? Because we've got like 2 more minutes. Or if you want to show something in particular, we can. If not, we can just open it to questions here, and you guys will let the questions drive the drive that. So Q&A here. Yes, let's start here.
The business card. You have
have to actually input it, or does it get scanned?
Yeah, so the way this works, and this was one of the big problems that we wanted to solve, was thank you. We just have a very, very simple wizard where you can take a PDF, a video, a PowerPoint, a Word document, and you just say upload it, give it a little title or description, and then we actually render the images, we do the storage, we do everything. It's totally automated. So all you're doing is going click, upload, boom.
What about the other, I think you may be asking about the other side.
I asked about the business card.
The guy who's giving you the business card.
So like getting this information?
Right, somebody hands you a business card, how does it get into the system?
So there's kind of two modes we operate in. One is sort of a standalone mode. So if I took your business card right now, I would have to type in your email. If you were attending a trade show where we were working with the organizer, we can actually take all that data and upload it into our system. You might have seen me put in a little quick code. So if you're at a trade show and they were using Hypersuade, everybody that attends the show, instead of having a badge with a code on it, would have just a number, and you go type in the number, and then all that data autofills. So yeah, that's a longer conversation, but that's a very interesting part of this marketing automation space, is how do we actually capture data from people? It's a really interesting conversation.
It would be totally sweet if you could somehow meld this with it, like a Card Munch, or like the InfoDuce guy who came by here, or with a bump. So that way, just like bam, get your card and instant email response with maybe a push out of a text.
We've looked into doing that with cards. The problem is that the state of kind of OCR technology right now it's kind of a cumbersome process to scan cards. The ultimate solution is when we all get like a barcode tattooed on our heads, but not that I'm proposing that.
Barcodes work too.
But until that happens, that's why that's a really tricky problem, because there just is no good standardized way to kind of collect data from people.
Okay. Cool. Any other cues, A's, comments? Okay, Betsy.
Is that data then something you can import into Salesforce or Microsoft CRM?
Absolutely. The question is, can this data be imported into another CRM? We're collecting as much data as you want to put in. We're collecting, including information about the documents you've requested. So we're actually creating kind of an enriched lead. All of that is being stored in our MySQL backend, which can of course be downloaded, just into an Excel, which can then be eaten up by Salesforce, Microsoft, Nimble, what have you. They all have a way to pull in information.
All right, good job.
Thank you. Oh, by the way, thank you. I do have a shout out. We are a startup. I've been in business for about 18 months, but I have a family, and I'm not rich yet. So if anybody needs a smart BD entrepreneur person, that's why Ron was talking about my shout out for looking for work. So hit me up for that too. So thanks.
Keep this guy in play. Okay, thanks. All right, good job. Okay, cool. Let's bring up our uptime lead, Jason, and we'll keep things rolling here.
Good morning, my name is Jasen Fici. I'm the co-founder of Uptime Incorporated. We're a software service company that focuses on something we call application downtime management. So before I get started, I just want to ask a quick question. How many in the room here are actually software developers? You say I'm not the only one? The only one over 40 who's still a software developer? All right. So everything I'm about to say, I just want you to know it applies to everybody else in the world except you guys. All right. So we're good to go. And I probably should have thought about the venue here before I said what I'm about to say. But basically, software sucks. Right? Software is incredibly complicated to develop, very, very expensive to maintain, and takes a small army to keep things running. Once you kind of plug all those variables into an equation, the only outcome you can ultimately represent is the fact that software sucks. Just when you think you got software up and running, what happens? It crashes. It doesn't just crash sometimes, it crashes all the time. Requires a lot of maintenance, Exhibit A. So if you kind of get past this fact and you start realizing the fact that software sucks, it sucks a lot more than you think. Over $26.5 billion every year is spent or wasted in application downtime. So productivity, anything that causes what happens when applications go down, a lot of money is wasted. Customer loyalty suffers quite a bit. If you have a public-facing application, whenever your application goes down, customer loyalty suffers a lot. you have an internal-facing application for your internal, like your IT staff or whatever, employee productivity tanks whenever applications go down. So if you accept the fact that downtime is inevitable, what you got to do, you really just have to start dealing with the fact and understanding that applications are going to crash. So rather than trying to waste all of your time trying to prevent it, accept the fact that an application is going to go down and start managing that process. So really just start asking yourself, what's the question? How do I manage application downtime? And that's what Uptime is all about. My previous life, actually my current life, the thing that's currently paying the bills is I'm the founder of a company called Valero, and we're a software as a service company doing it for about 10 years now that offers live chat to companies. So we let you ever go to a website and you have a question, you can click a button and start a chat conversation with a sales or support representative. We're the software company that kind of manages that product. So example of that is just here's an example of our product sitting on LG's website. So now our product is complicated, our product's expensive, our product takes a small army to keep it running. Ours doesn't suck, but we still suffered a lot of downtime, and we suffered our fair share of downtime. We're a small company, things just happen. So what did we do whenever Valero went down? This is what happened. Every time our application crashed, every time we had scheduled maintenance, our tech support staff went crazy. We got inundated with hundreds of emails. We had 10,000 customers, so we had 10,000 people using our application at any given time. Our customer support staff would literally within a 10-minute period start getting inundated with hundreds of emails, hundreds of phone calls. Every single customer calling in thinking that they were the canary in the cave. They thought they were the first people to find out that our application was down, and they wanted to know what was going on. We didn't have any process, we didn't have any way to manage this in any kind of streamlined, fashionable way. So we finally, eventually, after 10 years, started trying to figure out what's the right way to manage this. Is there something that other companies have done that they've figured out in terms of managing this process? So if you look at any smart software as a service, some of the big guys, they actually have figured this out. And one of the things they've figured out is something that we think every good politician already knows that's been involved in some type of scandal, right? And that is, whenever there's a problem, you want to get in front of that problem. You want to communicate early, and you want to communicate often. So basically what's happened is a lot of these software as a service companies have now what's called application status pages, right? They get in front of the problem. Whenever something happens, they have a status page that they can send all of their customers to let them know what's going on. And those status pages break down their application by component, kind of provides a historical view of what's going on, what's been transpiring within the application. So here's an example of Salesforce's page. Microsoft Azure has their own kind of status page. NetSuite has their own status page, and they all kind of communicate the same thing. Uptime history, recent events, scheduled maintenance events that are kind of going on. Now, the one thing we noticed when we first started looking at this was that, every single one of these applications were completely different, and it almost looked like there was no app for that. Everybody was rolling their own application status page. So being a kind of an entrepreneur and Valero being a startup company, we didn't want to write our own application, but we found out that we were going to have to, and since we decided we were going to have to, we said, hey, we might as well build an application we thought other people could use, and maybe there's a business behind it, and that's what Autonomy is. So Autonomy is an application that lets companies, whether you're an internal IT manager who has 1,000 applications that you're trying to manage for your employees, or whether you're a software as a service company, we let you build, publish, and maintain your own public-facing application status page. This is Valero's status page that's run by Uptimely. Tells all the same information that you see on all those other types of applications. It lists out all the recent events that have had, recent what we call incidents. So you can anybody who goes to this page can see what's transpired recently. Customers, employees, whoever can drill down into individual incidents and they can see what's happened, what was the length of the event, what's going on, what was the resolution, etc. One of the other cool things that separates Autonomy from some of these homegrown application status pages is that customers can actually subscribe to your company. So so Valero has about probably 100 what we kind of call critical high value customers. Each one of those customers, whenever something would happen, they were the first ones that we always wanted to make sure that we were responding to. Using a proactive environment like this, whenever we realized something was going on, it now automatically gets pushed to all of our customers right away via text messaging, email, automatically post to your Twitter feed what's going on. If you notice, a lot of companies nowadays have public Twitter status pages, right? So we actually maintain your Twitter status account for you as well within this process. We also have integration with your uptime management and server software systems. So you good? Oh. Okay. So we integrate with your uptime server monitoring software too. So companies, applications like Pingdom, they're monitoring all of your servers. Those applications, we tie into that data, so as the information gets pushed into Uptimely, the managers can decide what information needs to be publicly accessible and consumable by your customers, and then display that within your application status page as well.
Did you want to show me the interface stuff? Or?
Well, I was about to, but I ran.
Hey.
Okay, sure.
Hey, beautiful, you got a text message.
So whenever a text message comes in, that information gets pulled into Uptimely's interface. You have standard templates that automatically get that kind of get created. Your IT manager can look at that stuff, decide whether it's time to actually publish something on your application status page. You can define what service components you want to have affected by that incident. You can decide whether you want it to be scheduled maintenance or not. So one of the other problems we have all the time is the fact that we have scheduled maintenance, right? We need to tell our customers, hey, in 2 weeks we're going to be bringing the application down for an hour. And then, a day before that scheduled maintenance events, we need to send out another reminder. And then an hour before, we need to send out another reminder. Uptimely manages that entire process as well of scheduled maintenance. You can roll your own custom application status page with APIs and CSS calls. And that's pretty much it. Uptimely lets you roll your own application status page and proactively communicate that information to your customers.
Good job. Awesome. Hey, beautiful. Good job with the demo.
Hey, how does it, where's it getting the status information from?
Right. So the big problem we always recognize is the fact that, so we, software as a service company, right? We have 100 servers out there, and we have companies or products like Uptime or like Pingdom monitoring those servers. That information that we got from them, it's great information. It helps us know, hey, there's something going wrong on one of those servers, but it's not something that you would ever push in front of a customer, right? Half of them are false positives. Half of them you don't want your customers to know about anyway. Half of them don't even affect what a customer would ever know in the first place. So there's kind of a disjoint between what an uptime monitoring system does and what we kind of call a downtime monitoring system, which is how do I publish that information to the customer. Right, so this is a manual process, and ultimately that's what we feel. That we feel that pushing information to your customer is something where there has to be some type of human intervention in before you can publish it.
Can you deal with multiple data centers that you're having to monitor and have it collectively bring it all together?
Sorry, I'm not sure I understand that first part.
If you have multiple data centers that are serving up your clients, can you collaborate and pull that all together and do a presentation?
Sure. So when you deploy an application within our system, you define all the different kind of components that you would want to have. So a lot of the larger software as a service providers, they kind of break their components down by geography. So something like that. So you have data center A, B, and C in East Asia, Europe, and South America, and then inside there, I have different components that I want to have kind of just managed within this process. So yeah, you can deploy it that way.
Question right here.
How are you thinking about the go-to-market strategy? Are you targeting specific industries, like telecommunications or MSOs, or how are you thinking about it?
Yeah, so we just started. There is another vendor out there that's also a startup company that's starting this thing, so we kind of look at this as a new market that no one's really ever sold to. So it's kind of a don't know what you don't know, but we do think that there's an opportunity for us to kind of become the thought leaders in this space regarding, what is the process for application downtime management? Hey, as a company, what are the things you're doing correctly? What are the things you're doing wrong when it comes to application downtime? So we're really focusing on Uptimely being the thought leader in that space, but then also primarily selling. We think the real money is with internal application vendors. I mean, Disney has 250,000 employees and 30,000 in-house custom applications. So we price our product based on per application per subscriber.
Take a picture of that. Okay, great. Good job. Awesome job in the demo. You bring in Marlon. Okay, great. So while Marlon's plugging in, we're going to do our second round of shout-outs here. I know we have some events going on. I see Joey's back there chewing on a bagel. I'll let you finish chewing. But Mindy, in your other role, why don't you talk about Modev? Okay.
Yeah, so I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with Modev. It's a great organization. Started probably about 3 or 4 years ago for mobile development. We're having a conference, Modev East, December 12th through 14th. It's a 2-day conference and a hackathon, and it's just a great event. Over 100 speakers, anywhere from design, UX, data, anything mobile development, iOS, Android, cross-platform, great networking, great everything. So there are some flyers out front. I also have some. Question?
Okay, good.
Okay.
All right, good. So if you have 100 speakers, you can kind of get so many attendees a little bit. So it's a big event for mobile development.
ModeFeast.com.
ModeFeast.com, and we got some flyers out there. And I see Dan over here also from Montgomery. So.
Thanks. I'm Dan Hoffman. I'm the Chief Innovation Officer for Montgomery County. Tomorrow night in Bethesda, we're having our first Open Data Town Hall. It's going to be a charrette-style event where we go over first our Open Data Portal, Data Montgomery, but then we'll be soliciting feedback and information in preparation for our Open Data Implementation Plan. So we're looking for feedback on what data you would like to see the county publish. We use a tool that most governments use called Socrata. It makes the data machine readable, available through our API. So if there's some data that would help you in your applications or in your business that the county can provide, stop by the Open Data Town Hall. It's in Bethesda at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. And if you want more information, just come see me afterwards.
Great job. Okay, it's Joey here, but I'm going to come to the front because you're hitting on the back here. So one of our sponsors, I know we have, if I miss any other sponsor, throw something at me. Maybe I'll have you do the raffle at the end. Steve?
Just don't throw my bagel. Good morning, everyone. Joey Price. I'm with Jumpstart HR. It's a company I founded in 2011. It's HR outsourcing for small businesses and startups. You have great ideas here, great projects. And the last thing a lot of business owners think about is HR. But I just had a client that I had to work through an $11,000 employee handbook question because they had to pay out unemployment on something that could have been permitted in their handbook. So if you have any questions about HR, or if you don't and you just want to have someone in the pocket for later as you grow, you can contact me. I'll be right in the back here. I left some information out at the front table, and it's a pleasure to be a part of the TechBreakfast community.
Thank you. We did an awesome workshop with you. The first thing I learned is, like, if you're a startup, don't manage your own HR. It's remarkably inexpensive. I shouldn't use the C word. It's just inexpensive. So good resource to have. So thanks. All right. Any other shout-outs? Okay, great. Got one here, and then we'll keep the show going.
Hey, I'm Jeremy Frisch. We just did Startup Weekend last weekend and actually got in the top 2. So we're going on to the Global Startup Battle, and it's all the startup weekends, 200 startup weekends that are happening last weekend and next weekend, and the top 2 from each team. So we're going up against 400 teams. We're representing DC, so we need your guys' support to vote so we get to the final round. So if you can go to Felicity, that's our company. We're doing an on-demand gas delivery service. Maybe one day we'll present up here. But if you guys can go to felicity.com and sign up, we'll send you more information about voting. So we can hopefully win for DC. It's Fuelicity, like Fuel City.
Double play on words. Okay. Did I miss anybody else? Sponsors? Okay. Oh, back there and back there. Oh, we're not to you guys. Okay. Yeah. Making me work off my bagel. I'm gonna go here. Just that way you can pass it on. Oh, hey, Aaron.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Angie. I'm with Aronson. We're a CPA firm. We're here monthly. I wanted to let you guys know if you need anything, let us know. We are putting a big emphasis on working with startups and entrepreneurs. While you might not need an audit tomorrow, you very well might need some accounting advice. We're also starting office hours, so if you're interested in coming by and partnering with Norm, who's our partner, and myself to chat a little bit about your business and some tax and accounting 101, let us know. Again, Angie from Aronson.
Hi, I'm Brittany. I'm one of the co-organizers for DC Sports Tech Meetup. I just wanted to announce that our next meetup is going to be December 11th, which is a Wednesday, and we're actually going to be meeting with Monumental Sports and Entertainment. And so they run the Capitals, Mystics, and the Wizards, and we're going to be talking to them about opportunities for people in the community to work with them in terms of technology, new media, etc. So it should be pretty exciting.
Sounds exciting, yeah. Are you going to be at the stadium?
Yeah, the meeting is at the Verizon
The meeting's
Center.
at the stadium, so gotta do this one. Okay, great. So Marlon, you're on.
Good morning. My name is Marlon, Terrell. I'm the co-founder of RepayVets. RepayVets is a crowdfunding platform that allows military veterans to raise money for whatever they need funds for. So for those of you that are not all that familiar with crowdfunding, the whole idea and concept is to take a little bit of money from a lot of people to give one person, and now that person has a lot of money. And so that's about as simple as it gets. All right, I'm talking in the tech community. You know, I know you guys understand it for the most part, but I'm always talking to veterans in their entrepreneurship groups and things like that, and they're not quite tuned into a lot of the new technology sometimes. So that's why I want to simplify that. Our whole concept and idea is just repaying our veterans one campaign at a time, because the whole goal is to serve as an alternative to the nonprofit arena. I mean, we know there are a lot of opportunities for military veterans to get funds from nonprofits and government channels. Unfortunately, sometimes with the nonprofits, not as much of the dollar gets to the services for that veteran. So this is a way for a veteran to go directly to the source, directly to the people, and get up to 92% of that dollar coming straight to that person. So I'll just walk you through the site just so you have a good idea and understanding what we do and how it kind of works. So we have a few campaigns here. We just a quick backstory. We just started really doing some PR marketing ourselves over the past couple of months. So we have a few people that have posted campaigns, nothing too great yet. And that's kind of a big reason why we came here to TechBreakfast. We came here last year, and we pretty much put out the idea, and we were able to find someone that would help us improve our site on the technology side. So now we're at the place where we have a nice site, and we're trying to get it out there to as many veterans as possible, and then use them to continue to spread the word and get that out. All right, so I'll click on campaign here in French Apparel. The way it works is you can scroll down and you can easily just share, even if you saw a campaign that you thought was a good idea and pretty neat. I mean, you just kind of, you got the Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, ad plus buttons there. So you can easily share the campaign even if you decide not to contribute to a campaign. We have a photo here for the people that posted this campaign called French Apparel, but it doesn't have to be a photo. They can also be a video. They can tell their story of what they're raising money for, all different things there. Then they can also post other images just about about who they are or out in the community. Some images are pretty good to help verify the campaigns at times. And then over to the right-hand side, you can see they just posted their campaigns a couple days ago, but you can see money raised. They have a goal there of $7,500, how many days left. Then they have flexible funding. One of the things that we do that not all crowdfunding platforms do, but more are doing, is we offer two different types of funding models, flexible funding and fixed funding. So a flexible funding model means that every dollar that you donate to that person is going to go to that person, minus additional fees, but every dollar will go to that person. In the fixed funding model, it means that if a person has a campaign for $7,500, when you put your credit card in, those funds will be aggregated, but those funds will not be charged on your credit card until that person reaches that funding goal. All right, so that's one thing we definitely like to have, because again, not only do we want to serve as an alternative for nonprofits, but we do want nonprofits to be able to use our site as a fundraiser. And so if they're going to use RepayVets to fundraise, then we want them to be able to get every dollar, because they can use every dollar they need to for a good cause. Then as you go down, you can easily, just like most crowdfunding platforms, easily contribute $25, and then you can create your contribution. Go there. You can always just browse the campaigns. There are different campaigns up. You got a lot of different categories here. So homecoming celebrations, weddings, medical support. So again, like I said, it's almost anything, startup businesses. And then of course, creating a campaign is pretty easy to do. It only takes a few minutes. If someone logs on, comes to our website and they want to create a campaign, it's just basic information they need to put in here. Venture name, what category they want it to be. If it's something new, different, they'll probably put an other, and we'll add a category if we need to. They describe it. put where they're based, and then they can easily add a YouTube video or a photo right here. So nice and simple. They put their funding goal, and then they click flexible or fixed funding. And you know, no surprise that most people always click flexible funding, and which, because you know everybody's thinking, oh wow, I need $30,000. If I can get 100, I'll be okay. You know, so so we always go back and we have a conversation with the people, the veterans as they post the campaigns about that. Then we also, and then they pick a start date, and then they go from there. We allow, going back to the different campaigns, one thing that separates us from all other platforms is that we verify the veteran service through a third-party platform. I guess, and I'm guessing, being in the tech space, most of you have probably heard of Troop ID or ID.me. And so that what they do is they allow us to verify the military veteran service, which is a unique idea that we have. Other than that, I mean, it's just about, again, like I said, us getting in front of people you know, that want to help veterans in some way, even if it's not donating, and just sharing the story. All right.
Good job. I'm right on time. Look at that. So, okay, let's just send out the questions here, there, and there.
Do you have any plans to register with the SEC or FINRA as a funding portal?
It's an expensive process, so that's why I say no. So if we were to get funded and really be able to take off, that's the direction we would like to go into.
Right now, without that, you can't really do equity or debt offerings.
Right. You're not doing equity or debt offerings.
Correct.
It's just straight rewards.
However, on the homepage, you actually see like equity coming soon, because that's something that we do want to be able to do at one time. And actually, right here on the venture type, we have different types: equity and then contribution funded. So we want to go into the equity side.
On the flexible funding, if you're going equity or you're going debt and you're registered as funding portal with the SEC, that will pretty much knock it out, because if you look at the regulations, the funds basically sit in escrow until the target amount is hit. If the target amount never gets hit, it goes back to the prospective investor.
Right.
Yeah. So that kind of,
Yeah,
that
I was
can
actually-
be done on the charitable side.
Yeah, I was going to actually ask you about this, because I'm familiar with, many of us are familiar with Indiegogo as sort of like the other one that gives you the choice of flexible or fixed. But they make, it's a trade-off, because if you want the flexible, they take 9%, and you're saying that you take 8.
5.
5, okay. Okay, so you did say, across the board, 5%. But then if you take the fixed funding model, they only take 4%. So it's like the gamble. Do I want to give less, but then I have to hit my goal, or do I give them more, but then I don't have to hit my goal? So and then I do want to ask you that question about like the bajillion crowdfunding platforms out there. I know you're focused on vets, which is great. So, but then, is there something that you're doing in the model that is going to be differentiated because of the vet focus?
No, the only thing we originally started off with just focusing on businesses, but then we kind of changed and said, hey, you know what? We started looking at just nonprofits and thinking about how little of a dollar sometimes goes to veteran services. And so that's pretty much the gist of the difference, is that we just opened it up to allow veterans for all kinds of needs, medical support, all kinds of different things they have.
Okay, great. Betsy?
What about the Veterans Administration? Are you working with them?
We talked to the VA a couple times, but we haven't really gotten into the VA. There are a lot of good ways that you can get in with the VA and do a lot of things with joiningforces.org. A lot of different websites that are out there that are specifically focused towards veterans that we continuously communicate with and do some work on.
I've always been curious about, do you have to pair with a bank? Like, how does there are any legal implications of running a crowdfunding business?
No, so with the gifting model, no, it's, we do have WePay is our payment gateway, just like PayPal that we go through. But with the other model, where equity investing, which the SEC just voted on that they want to do it, the rules are out there, but it's going to take another, I think, 5 months or so before they actually approve all of that.
Okay, one final one here from Andrew B.
So you don't need a broker-dealer?
No.
What about follow-up? I did something similar called Kiva.org.
Yeah.
And the really cool thing about that is you can kind of see the progress. And it's nice that you can actually put in but I would think a lot of the satisfaction if one is gifting is like, oh, this is what the veteran has done, and there's pictures, videos, so there's a follow-up.
Right. Yeah, so that's one thing, like I said, we can upload videos, and then you can the veteran that has, and I didn't go through an actual campaign, a person that posts a campaign, but they can constantly give updates to everyone that has donated and constantly just kind of keep people engaged and encouraged. And, people is nonprofit, right? So every dollar was a nonprofit donation, which for us is not so much. So that's kind of a big difference there. Because when people are getting that tax write-off, and the gifting isn't as much.
I think final question from Steve, who I think is going to become one of your new advisors.
Yeah.
As a response to the gentleman's question, you need either a licensed broker-dealer or a licensed funding portal, one or the other.
In order to do the...
In order to do equity or debt.
In order to do equity, yeah.
Equity, debt.
I think I've just found a new advisor for you. We should get this card, right? Am I right? Okay, good. Well, awesome job. Awesome job. This is a second one, so that's good. Okay, well, that's really the whole show. I don't know if I missed anybody. You want to do a shout out? If I missed any of our fabulous sponsors or anybody? Oh, I knew you had somebody, Peter. You've done a shout out the previous one, so I think maybe not. Oh, maybe you're in my dream. You've been haunting me.
First time for everything. No, I'm doing some research for a new incubator, and if anybody has a co-working space and they're looking for that space that's available, see me, just would like to find a replacement.
And I forgot about the raffle. So Comcast, come up here, Steve, because you guys are awesome, because we love you, because you guys are sponsoring everything we do, which makes us love you even more. And we have a fabulous 2-week universal
charger. It's going to be amazing. It's worth hundreds of dollars, probably. We hope.
I should keep this box closed. We'll keep this box to ourselves at the moment. Okay. We're going to be mailing you the actual one because. Good. Okay, so pick a card. Oh, did anybody want to put in their card here? Who has to put in their card? Because you got like all of like 2 seconds or 5 seconds to do. Just throw it. See if you can get in there. And you know him, he'll probably be the winner.
Okay.
One more. There you go. Hey, one more from Steve. All right. Oh, he picked out the VMT. Drew, did you win something before? Oh, he's a lucky guy. Awesome. Good to see you, Drew. Well, you have to come on up, but you can just wave at us. We have your information, so Steve will be emailing it to you. Or not emailing. We're not going to mail you. That's actually an empty box. The box is empty. All right, thanks a lot. Okay, everybody, do awesome things. Network. If you have awesome stuff, let me know about it. See you in the next one.